This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. And it reads, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Verse 20. That thou mayest love the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. All right, Shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakak Wadash. And I was reading the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, in the GNT, which is the Good News Translation. All right, and that chapter is entitled The Regrets of the Wicked. And the highlight or the point of that chapter, it goes into the fact of how in the end, the Lord is going to allow these wicked people to acknowledge that they erred from the pathway of righteousness. Okay, because this truth, this knowledge is likened unto the pathway of life. And truth be told, the majority of our people have already chosen the pathway of death. Like the scriptures tell us in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. Let's get that. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, speaking about 2/3. And these are the individuals that are on the pathway of destruction. Okay, the pathway of death. You see? Let's get this word for lost. If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay. So this word for lost.
Strong's G 622. Apollomy.
For that word lost, which goes into to destroy, to put out of the way entirely, abolish, put an end to ruin. And that's what's going to happen to 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right. They're going to be put out of the way entirely, pursuant to Zechariah chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. All right. The Lord is going to do away with 2/3. Render useless. See? That dross, like it tells you in Ezekiel chapter 22. All right. The Lord is going to purely purge away that dross. He's going to get rid of it. It says to kill, to declare that one must be put to death. See? It says to perish, to be lost, ruined, or destroyed. All right. So that's the fate of 2/3. All right. They are on the pathway of death. You see? This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 28. And it reads, it says, in the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. See that? So this knowledge, this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is the pathway of life. All right. But only a few are going to find that way. You see, majority of our people are going down the pathway of death, going back to what? Really these idols, these false doctrines, these religions. All right. As we were just talking about, and we're going to get that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter in the GNT. OK, you people are the ones that wandered off from the right road, as it tells you. All right. Going back to what? The right path, the path of righteousness. Because in some shape, form, or fashion, these people of the world, these Jakes, these 2/3, they follow some form of, religion, false doctrine, or idol. Okay, which is the pathway of death. And I just want to make a point on that, man. All right, because all of these religions, these false doctrines are going to lead you to destruction, man. All right, let's make that point. I just want to read that. All right. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, getting straight to the point. Okay. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. And matter of fact, we'll just read at the top. So here we go. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1 in the GNT. And it reads, it says, on that day, someone righteous, full of confidence, will stand before those who oppressed him and made light of his labors, which is going back to the prophets that are standing up in great boldness. All right. It says, verse 2, they will be amazed to see him safe and will tremble with terrible fear, because the enemies of the elect, they're going to see the salvation in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, verse 3, then they will regret what they did, and groaning in anguish they will say to each other, this is the one we made fun of. We thought he was a joke. What fools we were, right? Because you people that scoffed and mocked, that didn't believe, you're going to be the fools in that day, in the time of destruction and the arrival of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, we thought he was crazy to live the way that he did, and when he died, we didn't honor him. It says, and now here he is, one of God's own children, with a place of his own among God's people. See the point? It says, verse 6, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 6 in the GNT. It says, we were the ones who wandered off the right road. You see, you were the ones that wandered off the right road. All right. The true pathway of life, going back to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. You wandered off on the right road, and you went down the pathway of death, going back to these different, religions, false doctrines, and idols, man. All right. That led you to your ultimate demise. And that's what's going to be acknowledged in that time. You're going to find out that none of these gods were true gods in that day, that they're not going to deliver you in the time of destruction. All right. It says, verse 6 again, we were the ones who wandered off the right road. We never lived in the light of righteousness. We never caught the first glimmer of its light. Ooh, matter of fact, let me go back to that 2 Corinthians 4. Right? As we just talked about, if this gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Verse 4, to my point, it says, on whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Who's the God of this world? Esau. Okay? It says, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shai, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. So they didn't receive of the light. All right. The Lord didn't allow his face to shine unto them, which is going back to the wisdom. All right. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They couldn't receive of the truth. They were blinded. So going back to what it said here, it said, Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 6 GNT, it says, we were the ones who wandered off the right road. We never lived in the light of righteousness. We never caught the first glimmer of his light. You see, you were blinded. Verse 7, all our lives we wandered across unmarked deserts instead of following the road which the Lord wanted us to travel. And this lawlessness led us to ruin. You see that? And those unmarked deserts going back to what? To those philosophies. All right. Those false doctrines, those lies, those idols. Those are likened unto deserts. All right. Which laid no way. You see? It says, we were so proud of ourselves. We bragged about how rich we were. And now what good has it done us? And people are going to find out in the end, how much money you got and your social media status, who you are in the world. None of that's going to matter in the time of destruction, man. Okay. It says all those things are gone now. They have disappeared like a shadow, like something you hear and then forget, right? Because it's not going to matter in the end. All right. So the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to make these wicked people acknowledge, all right, that they wandered off the right road, that they wandered off from the right path, man. As the title of that chapter was, the regrets of the wicked. Okay. The Lord is going to make sure these people fully acknowledge that in the end. All right. That you went down the pathway of death, man. You see that? Because this is the way, walk you in it. Let me get that. All right. This truth, this doctrine is the correct path, the correct way. This is Isaiah 30 In verse 21, it says, "And thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way." All right. This knowledge, this truth, this is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left, this is the right path, man. All right. This is the pathway of righteousness. All right. The pathway of life. Walk ye in it. You see? Isaiah 35. Okay. It's Isaiah 35, verse 6. It says, "Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing, for in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert," going back to this knowledge. Okay. It says, verse 7, "And the parched ground should become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. And the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes," man, because going back to the abundance of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's being poured out. Okay. It says, "And the highway shall be there," right? You know, the brothers teaching on the internet, the highways and hedges out there on the streets, you know, all over the world. It says, "And highway should be there, and a way," see? "And there should be called the way of holiness." This is the way of holiness, the pathway of life. All right. The true and correct way to go. "And it should be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men," all right, which goes back to the upright in heart, those that have the truth. "The wayfaring men, though fools, shall not err therein." Let me read this in the NLT real quick. Just want to make a point on that. All right, Isaiah 35 and 8 NLT, it says, "And a great road will grow through that once deserted land, and it shall be named the highway of holiness. Evil-minded people will never travel on it." See, those that have been blinded, those that are on the pathway of destruction, the pathway of death. It says evil people will never travel on it. It will be only for those who walk in God's ways. Fools will never walk there. See, it says lions will not lurk along its course, nor any ferocious beasts. There will be no other dangers. Only the redeemed will walk on it. You see, so only the redeemed, the elect, would find that pathway of life, man. You see, but 2/3 are on the pathway of death and destruction. You see, right? Proverbs 16:11, it says, "Thou wilt show me the path of life, and thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore," right? So that's pretty much the point, man. All right. We have obtained, you know, the pathway of life. All right. This is the way of holiness. Walk ye in it, man. You see, so I just wanted to make that point. I thought that was, pretty interesting, just to bring out for some edification. Majority of our people have erred in the way of righteousness. They have wandered off from the right road. You see what I'm saying? As it was set up. So I pray this quick lesson was edifying. Just wanted to make that point. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And shalom to the next one. Shalom.